Welcome back to the Blue Door Pub Thunderdome for another Bull with Andy Carlson, Minnesota's 87th best daily podcast. A show about everything and nothing, coming at you 5 days a week, son. Sid Shotgun is Uncle Nick. Follow him on Twitter at Mixon. Hola.
Hey, ¿cómo estás?
Burrito. Tell friends, spread the word. iTunes, Stitcher, iHeart Radio, and bullshow.co. Before we get started, like us over on Facebook. We're giving away a $100 Blue Door Pub gift card, so check it out, facebook.com/bullshow, and all the instructions to get into the contest over there. Happy middle of the week. It's exciting. Nick, how's your week been going so far?
Been going all right. I've been slowly finishing up the move. This time next week I will be staying with a friend in Minnetonka while I wait to find a place of my own.
So that seems very exciting to you.
Yay.
Hey. So the NFL draft is coming up tomorrow, and one of the main stories about is Oklahoma running back Joe Mixon, who punched a woman in the face in 2014, and now is dealing with the fallout from that there. And, we just have a visitor at the window. Hello, little Margaret. Hello. She's looking in the basement window into the studio here. So, Joe, next little justification between cute and absolutely not. So, Joe Mixon, he punched a woman. Let's watch the video.
Have released surveillance video showing the running back punching a female student in the face. Earlier this month, the Oklahoma Supreme Court ruled that the video must be released to the public.
Now, the female and him have recently settled. And also he apologized, and apparently they're on good terms, and how this is very convenient right before the draft because the kid's got talent. He's kind of a Matt Forte type. He's a good good catcher of the ball out of the backfield, which meshes well with today's NFL. And what bugs me about this whole situation is, we just watched it there. She shoves him, and then he does that little thing where it's like, where it's like a fake lunge, and then eventually he just knocks her out. Broke her orbital bone and really just messed up her face. And he was suspended from Oklahoma for a year. He was brought back on the team by Bob Stoops, who is a beacon of virtue. I say that very sarcastically. And it does feel very similar to the Adrian Peterson situation that we all went through in Minnesota here, also around 2014, in that people are warping and adjusting their morals to try and make it okay to root for Joe Mixon. And I've seen this happen exponentially as the draft process went along. All of a sudden, the media people and Vikings fans, because the Vikings are possibly in the market for a running back, they're like, oh, well, everyone deserves a second chance. He's been very contrite after the fact and blah, 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 blah. And it annoys me to no end in that people just won't come out and say, and I would respect if people just came out and said, I don't care what he did off the field. I think he's a talented kid. I want him on my football team because he can help me win games. That is all. But instead, people are going on she pushed him first. Well, they've apologized. They've settled. Everyone deserves a second chance. And it's so hypocritical and transparent because if this was actually how I feel, if this was virtuous, if this was actual the way that you felt about human nature and situation and forgiveness, then make the same case for a 7th-round pick or an undrafted free agent. Or do that same thing. Don't adjust how you feel morally based on the person's talent, because that just makes you look like an idiot. It's very transparent. And I'll come out and say, I don't care what he did off the field. I don't care that he punched the woman in the face. If he's not in jail, I want him on my football team. Just do that.
I'm just wondering why he wasn't arrested and thrown in jail for this. I mean, isn't that an assault charge? I mean, you hit someone?
I believe he was arrested. Nick, you can look up. He did 0 jail time.
Yeah, I see 1 year deferred sentence, ordered to undergo counseling along with 100 hours of community service. He entered an Alford plea. I'm not familiar with this term.
I have no idea. But it does skeeze me out and creep me out a little bit that a lot of people who, normal, rational people are just like, well, you know, if they had video of everyone in the NFL, that Mixon wouldn't look that big of an instance. Like, just because other people's yards are kind of dirty doesn't make your dirty ass yard clean. It really doesn't. Like, morality and just like a common baseline of human decency, isn't graded on a curve. It is a sliding scale based on how the rest of the populace does. And what annoys me no end is that, first off, playing in the NFL is a privilege, and no, it is not a right. And the only thing that we ask of you is don't rape or hit women. That is all you have to do. If you can't clear the extremely small hurdle, which is about an inch off the ground, if you can't get your ass over that hurdle, I'm sorry, you should not have the right to play professional football or professional sports.
I 100% agree with you. This is insane, and he is still predicted to go maybe as early as first round.
Now that he has settled, I'm sure there's a huge payoff there, and the girl has seemingly forgiven him. I think that will give teams enough cover where Mixon could go in the first round, which for me that would be a great thing, because then he won't be there when the Vikings pick at 48, and then we wouldn't even have to decide, because the Wilfs generally do not make good choices good moral choices when it comes to scumbag Oklahoma running backs, as we've seen in recent years. And the situation is, it is a Rorschach test. For me, the way that I look at it is that, hey, this kid blew his chance. Sorry. If you can't check the boxes on two things, there should be two boxes on the NFL application for employment. A, have you ever punched a woman in the face? B, have you ever sexually assaulted a woman? If you can't check both boxes, no, then sorry, you can't play. But the way that other people see it is like, trying to just warp their morals and be like, well, we all have mistakes. None of us are perfect. That should not be an excuse for why he's allowed to punch a woman in the face. Just because, congratulations, Don from Western Minnesota, you're not perfect. Cool. Nice. Joe Mixon, don't punch women in the face. Sorry.
To be fair, I feel like he's lightened up because there was a 2016 incident involving a parking ticket in which Mixon got into an altercation with a parking attendant and tore the parking ticket in half and threw it at the woman's face. So, yeah. I mean, he's lightening up a little bit.
Well, no, that's the part of it, too, is that people say is like, he's been a Boy Scout ever since the incident. No, not really. He's had a number of run-ins. He has never come out and said publicly, hey, I'm sorry for all this and blah, blah, blah. And he does not seem contrite at all. He seems like a haughty, arrogant asshole. And just because he has a shred of NFL, like, if this situation happened, this kid had zero athletic talent, we wouldn't even be having this conversation. And then all the people are like, I believe in second chances, or we're not perfect, or blah, blah, blah. All that goes away because you're hypocrites, because you're just trying to make this argument because the kid can run the football.
I agree with you. Yeah.
Damn right. Otherwise, I'll punch you in the face.
You're not going to punch me.
Which is perfectly fine because we're both men.
Tosh Point made a point of, and I'm a gentleman.
Yep.
You know me. I'm chillax all the time. I open the doors for ladies when they walk through the door. I would never hit a woman. That's barbaric. Unless she's drowning an infant or something. Unless she's doing something like horrific. I feel like there's extremes we should address. Like if she's a terrorist
this is the retarded part of the argument that everyone goes to too. Is like you're talking about a 1 in 100,000 incidents. Like, well, I would strike a woman if she had a knife or a gun pointed at me. How many times has a woman ever pointed a knife or gun at you? Yes, obviously, then you can punch a woman. But yeah, just going to those illogical extremes. It's how stupid people argue. Sorry, Nick.
No. It's. No, that's fine. That's fine. It's okay. Let's.
I would never kill a baby. Well, would you kill the baby if you knew he was going to be Hitler? Yes, thank you. Thank you for providing so much to this intellectual discussion.
I let the baby live. I think the big. Well, let's change this around a little bit. What if the person he hit wasn't a woman? What if it was a guy? Do you think there'd be as much or more?
Oh, God, no. I mean, this happens all the time to NFL players.
Interesting.
Yeah. And also, here's my thing with the video is, well, we don't have the clip up, but after he breaks this woman's face, there's about 3 or 4 guys between him and the door, and they just let him walk out. Like, I understand Mixon is 6'1", 230 pounds of solid muscle, but if this guy just rocked a woman right in the face, breaking her orbital bone, I'm sorry, but he's not getting out the door. Because what if there wasn't a video? Or what if the security camera was off that day? Or what if he just walks out and the cops never catch him? What if he's never identified? That's wrong, too.
That's the video we did see was like he wasn't like just lightly. That was a wind up and swing hit.
And then people are like, oh, well, they were probably just in shock. No, this is the pussification of America. This is three people with male genitalia, except they're not men. Just like Caitlyn Jenner. Try to bring light. All right, so we're checking out here since we actually have some pretty lighthearted topics today. A happy Wednesday. Dun, dun, dun. I can't make a smooth segue. Ranking the top 5 fast food places. So this is very exciting. And I was thinking about this the other day. Is that there's a couple of things that go into a good drive-through experience. It's not, and also I watched The Founder about how Ray Kroc stole McDonald's from the McDonald's brothers, and it's all about thinking about the customer. Yeah, it's all about when the McDonald's brothers started. It's all about quality, speed. Not cutting corners just to make an extra buck, and I respect that. But then Ray Kroc just completely got it out there, and we have the modern fast food joint where the same McDonald's McDouble that you get in Sarasota, Florida, is going to be the same one that you get in Seattle, Washington. I think there is something great about that consistency. I think that's the appeal of McDonald's as well. And what sort of bugs me is that when you go through a McDonald's drive-thru now, it's an automated order. Like when you're talking to the person taking your order, they're not in the restaurant. They're remote, or it's a freaking robot. And I don't know if I like that.
I don't think that's happening yet, is it? No.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, just think about times that you've gone through McDonald's and then you order, you hear a female voice taking your order, and then you get to the window and it's a huge burly dude.
I think they're in the store. The people taking the order. I think they're in the store. It's just different people. I think someone orders, someone collects the money. I think they have that type of system.
No, they're remote.
I don't think they're remote. No way.
Look it up.
I'll look this up later.
Yeah.
Okay. I will research this.
And then in juxtaposition, I went through Chick-fil-A, and they're like, I understand that people are like, boycott Chick-fil-A because of their stance, religious stance, whatever. They make a great chicken sandwich. The place is always clean. The cashiers and the drive-through people are always friendly. And that plays a part of it. Like, I understand we're just getting fast food, and we're not even getting out of the car, and we're going to interact for maybe about a minute and 30 seconds. But that plays in. So I have my top 5. You have your top 5. Let's go through the numbers. So, Nick, who do you have at number 5?
Number 5, I have Wendy's.
Wendy's. Why?
The quality of food. For me, I based all my orders on like food tastes and stuff and preferences. Wendy's burgers, I think, are one of the finest burger places. You can have the meat, the Dave's double, or I think it went from like the classic to the double to the triple. I think it's now called like Dave's specialty, and obviously you have one of the most popular ones is the Baconator. I mean, that shit is tight, yo. Average fries.
There you go. Number 5 I have is blank. I only have top 4 on purpose because I don't do fast food often, and there's only 4 that I go to.
Which is awesome.
That was done intentionally. All right, who do you have at number 4?
Number 4, I have Taco Bell.
Okay, why?
They have a great line of variety of like specialty. Like not just tacos. I love their gorditas, their chalupas, and whatnot. And they always have kind of weird, unique things that come up. I mean, is it authentic Mexican food? Not at all, but it's I've never had a bad late night meal, and they're opened extremely late.
Have you ever gone to Taco Bell before 7 p.m.?
I think once.
Have you ever had lunch there?
I feel like once.
It's like, yeah, I have to get lunch at Taco Bell, and then I have to go back to the office. No, you ain't getting shit done the afternoon, son. Yeah. For me, number 4 is going to be Wendy's. And I do like their fresh, never frozen beef. That does come into play. And I usually get the junior bacon cheeseburger, except then you get like 8 of them.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. Number 3, who you got?
Taco John's.
There, 2 taco places right in a row. Scandalous.
I know. It took me a while to think about it, and this is my fun argument because, spoiler alert, I do eat out fast food all the time, but I don't go to Taco John's too much, and like their biggest downfall is in the cities. They're kind of spread and far out from like where I live.
Yep.
But for tacos itself, tacos hands down, I only get Taco John tacos. I think they have a nice meat. The meat flavoring they have there is fantastic, and
because it actually starts as meat and not pink goo.
Shut up, Andy. I like pink. And potato lays, hands down, those are one of the finest potato things you can get via fast food.
Hey, this is authentic Mexican. It's potato olays. And by that I mean we just took tater tots and put chili powder on them.
We flattened them first.
Yeah.
Into discs.
I do think the tater tot crowns are better than the tater tots.
The crowns? Oh,
Yeah.
I agree. Okay. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, because it's easier to get a more uniform crisp than the actual top shape.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. For me, number 3 is Chick-fil-A. I freaking love Chick-fil-A. Their chicken sandwich, their spicy chicken sandwich, can't really be beat. And I feel like that. Yeah, we always talk about the burger being the true American, the American food, or the hot dog, even though that's a Frankfurter and that's more German. No, like a fried, crispy chicken sandwich. I feel like that should be numero uno as far as American food.
Oh, yeah. If you can find a good place that can make it like Chick-fil-A does, yeah definitely agree.
Also, isn't everything good comes from Germany, except for history. Because isn't the burger? I know it was conceived in Connecticut, but wasn't it a take on Hamburg steak from Hamburg, Germany?
It could be a possibility.
Yeah.
I'm not a historian.
No, we have no actual American food. This is a melting pot. Like, Frankfurters are from Germany, pizzas from Italy, tacos are from Mexico, Chinese food is from and we just bastardize it.
From
Yeah. Maybe that's the most American thing of all. We take your ideas and we make it even more American-y. Like, we take all this food from abroad and we, like, triple the calories. Actually, that's Americanizing stuff.
That is. Wikipedia, they're saying, Germany for, like, early stages of Hamburg, the Hamburg steak.
What was the place in Connecticut that was the first restaurant?
Give me just 1 second.
Burger Prince. That eventually became the king.
Burger Prince. Boston Journal. Oh, the World's Fair had stuff, too.
Yeah,
it
doesn't matter.
White Castle had stuff later, too.
Number 2, heading into the silver plus medal. Nick, who do you got?
Culver's.
Hey, very underrated.
Yeah, Butterburgers are. It's so moist, so juicy. I know people don't like the word moist, but I'm saying it.
Moist.
Yeah, and crinkly fries. I mean, not my favorite fry, but definitely an underrated French fry. You don't see them too often. Those crinkly fries. But other than being kind of slow and in the Twin Cities, I mean, there's a few here and there, but kind of scattered, kind of like Taco John's. That's why it's not my number 1. fast food place.
And it does come back to just fresh ingredients because Culver's are always top line, and also their walleye sandwich. Walleye sandwich is really good.
Oh yeah.
Like, which fast food place can you go to and get a walleye sandwich? Only Culver's.
The McWall. Oh yeah, right.
Yeah. For me, number 2 is Raising Cane's.
Oh, Raising Cane's.
Like I'm a big fried chicken guy, and the Raising Cane's chicken strips and the sauce and the coleslaw, and also the just humongously sized piece of Texas toast. Like, I don't always eat it, but I appreciate that it's there. You know.
I always eat it. I'm sorry. Hell, I love it.
And there's just something like we have a location out here in the South Metro, but the one in Dinkytown, like in the shadow of the stadium, it tastes better because of all the college tiers, the kids of college, the tiers of the college kids.
Like tiers of the, you see a lot of young kids, trying to make a living there. Yeah, it's that was the first time I had the first time I ever had it in Minnesota. My first experience with Raising Cane's was down in Louisiana. Mm-hmm. Like where it was made. I think it was made in Baton Rouge. Or I think like the headquarters is
Baton Rouge.
Baton Rouge. But then I was like, oh man, this chicken place is great, but I never heard of it. And Dinkytown or U of M campus was the first one that had it. And now, thankfully, they have, I think, up to 4 or 5 now in the Twin Cities total.
Yeah.
So it's great. It's spreading. So I hope it keeps going. But to me, it's almost borderline because it's fast, but it's almost that borderline kind of how Chipotle or to me like Noodles and Company is. You have to wait a little bit because they do make it fresh there.
Mm-hmm. What's your numero uno, Nick?
My numero uno is McDonald's. It sounds so cliche-ish, and when you compare like burger places like McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's, Culver's, the burgers at McDonald's are just kind of average, compared to the other ones because I do love a Burger King burger. But to me, a fast food, when I go out for fast food, I go out for a meal. And the French fries at McDonald's, hands down, are the best. I don't know what it is about McDonald's French fries that no other fast food chain can do. For some reason, like they're so addicting. And obviously, like when you get a Coke a Diet Coke, or Coke Zero, whatever, if you get whatever beverage you want at a McDonald's, it's fresh and cold.
Oh yeah, everyone talks about the McDonald's Coke because they do something different with it.
Because like it arrives chilled or like what's where the syrup comes from is reserved like chilled, and like the water is like specially chilled. Mm-hmm. That's like unlike any other fast food place, and that's why and it took me a while to think about it. I'm like, oh, come on, a pop is a pop anywhere, but if you really did like a taste test, I think you can tell like, oh, this tastes like a Coke from McDonald's versus a not Coke from McDonald's.
And most importantly, my number 1 is also McDonald's. Crazy. Now, we're not talking about quality, and this might be recency bias because I just saw the founder. And just think about consistency across the board, how many locations there are. And I'm factoring in McDonald's breakfast, too. Like McDonald's breakfast is freaking elite. The Egg McMuffin. I will make the case that the Egg McMuffin is the most important fast food item in American history.
Interesting. I never thought about that.
Because it revolutionized fast food breakfast service. Well, not revolutionized. It launched it. It started. And it's something that's so simple, so delicious, so good. And then also, I'm not going to lie, the sausage breakfast burritos, amazing. Always amazing.
And that was something I really didn't think about taking into consideration too much was their breakfast. But I mean, with a lot of these fast food places, I mean, a successful breakfast place, a successful fast food place, has a good breakfast. Taco Bell is trying to ring on it the last couple of years by introducing breakfast. I don't know if Taco John's does. Culver's doesn't have one. I know the Chick-fil-A and the Raising Cane's stuff. They haven't really got into the deal either. But with McDonald's many of them are open 24 hours, 7 days a week. That means a lot to people who work third shift. Late night drinking. It's
Also 24-hour breakfast. Yeah.
yeah. So I mean, McDonald's is definitely putting out all the stops, and I respect them for it. And even with as I said, quote, mediocre burgers, you got to have those golden fries. I'm sorry, those are the best French fries around.
Yeah. So that's our top 5 fast food. We're trying to get away from the Mixon stuff, but so we got the YouTube clip up, and the top comment is, "She hit him, he hit back. End of story. What consequences are there for Miss Molitor hitting him?" Jesus Christ.
Ooh, interesting.
Wait,
Miss Molitor? Oh, is that
the girl that pushed him?
Oh, I'm like, I didn't get the reference. Oh, it's her actual name. Okay.
Let's just start over. Bring on the meteor. Get out of here. Another smooth segue to is this okay?
Over the line! Huh? I'm sorry, Smokey. You were over the line. That's a foul.
So in this, is this okay? I asked Nick a moral conundrum. So this isn't going to be the type of, hey, is it okay that Joe Mixon hit a woman? No, it's not going to be like that. This is going to be something where it does walk the line, because you're mine, I walk the line. But I want to get Nick's opinion on this. So this week, is this okay? So I was at the gym, and there's this really good-looking woman, but she was a quadriplegic, and she was in a wheelchair. And she was amazingly fit, stunningly beautiful. Is it okay? If I was single, would it be okay to hit on her at the gym?
Yeah.
I think it'd be fine, right? It does feel a little weird, though, doesn't it?
It shouldn't, though. I think she's a person.
Yeah, I know she's a person, but inside, like, it felt a little weird because I was obviously ogling her, you know?
No, there'd be nothing wrong. No, with hitting on her, no.
Nick, would you date a woman in a wheelchair?
Yes.
And this all goes back to Family Guy, doesn't it?
What does it go to with Family Guy?
Because Joe's in a wheelchair.
I'm not going to date Joe. If she's an attractive woman and if we have a lot in common, wheelchair wouldn't make me not want to date her. I'd be like, oh, I'm sorry, aren't wheelchair people only allowed to date wheelchair people?
Oh, Bunny, if I were a skunk and you were a cat who kept repeatedly wandering into areas where there was wet paint, I would look at that strap on your back and think you were another skunk.
A Pepe Le Pew reference.
Now, what I want to know is... let's watch this clip.
Please come home with me.
Oh, Joe, I'm sorry. This is so hard.
Jeff Tilly.
Think about what we have together, honey. Think about our little girl. You need to come home with me.
Bunny, stay with me. I promise it will take 3 years with this accent before you figure out I'm just a normal jerk.
Bunny, only one way left to prove my love to you.
Joe, I don't believe it. You're walking.
I am!
I would do anything for love, but I won't do that.
Oh, Joe, I love you. I love you so much.
I love you too, Bonnie.
Let's go home.
And with men, with quadriplegic men, yeah, there's obviously stuff below the waist that can't.
What?
Quadriplegic men can't get an erection, right?
Yes.
All right. Now, with women, though, it's like quadriplegic women, like everything is still fine. Like they could still get pregnant and stuff, right?
I think so. Yeah, I think I think that all can happen. Wait, is quadriplegic? Isn't that when arms and legs are both?
Oh, sorry, paraplegic.
Okay.
Yeah. I've been saying quad the entire time. I'm sure people are yelling. It's like, well, how is she working out in the gym? And she's going, yeah. It was. All right, so paraplegic. Scusi. So Nick, you should come to the gym. You should meet this lovely wheelchair lady, and then you guys should hit it off. And then you can make babies.
Yay!
All right, so the verdict is it okay for Andy to think that the chick in the wheelchair at the gym is hot? Absolutely, 100% okay.
Smokey, this is not Nam. This is bowling. There are rules. Has the whole world gone crazy? Am I the only one around here who gives a shit about the rules?
Also, you ain't gone crazy, but we'll be back with more Bull with Andy Carlson. So 2016 sucked for the Vikings, and also for a number of other reasons I heard, but it's okay. 2017 is upon us. Vikings fans, let's get going. All off-season, Purple for the Win coming right at you through free agency, the draft, and OTAs and training camp. Here we go. Get the show on 1500 ESPN, Podcast One, and the Podcast One app. And coming back into the Blue Door Pub Studios, baby, and you know what's up. You know what is going on. We're giving away a $100 Blue Door Pub gift card. Go over to our Facebook page, facebook.com/bullshow, to get all of the details to get your ass in the contest. $100. That buys a lot of Blue Seas, a lot of beer, a lot of wings, a lot of tachos. Hit it up. Facebook.com/bullshow. Nick, would you sit in a wheelchair if you were dating the wheelchair chick?
In order to kind of,
I feel like you would
relay with it.
I feel like you would like the wheelchair.
No. I mean, no. Sorry, guys. There's nothing wrong with. No. Many paraplegics.
Nick, why are you disparaging people in wheelchairs?
I will sit next to a woman in a wheelchair. Nothing wrong with that. I'd be fine with her. I feel like I would be offending her if I sat in a wheelchair.
Would you? It's like, oh, you're sitting in the wheelchair by choice. I see, Nick.
Yeah. I feel like
that's your first fight.
Yeah, that'd be her first fight, and then I would just walk away from it. Oh no.
How dare you?
No. I would totally date someone in a wheelchair. I don't think
that'd be so boring. She'd have to be Professor X every Halloween. All right, let's do the news.
You are fake news. Sir, go ahead.
George Bush doesn't care about black people.
Ain't got time to believe. You can't handle the truth.
The news with Uncle Nick.
This is quite the juxtaposition episode. But what's going on in the news today, Nick?
First off, I don't. My luck would be I would date a wheelchair person who doesn't like sci-fi stuff, and that would be sad.
Wah.
Okay. All right, let's do some cheerful news, I guess? No, not cheerful.
This girl did not end up in a wheelchair.
Yes, but kind of freaky, terrifying news coming from Paris. There was a video of a girl who escaped death, is how the site tells it, from a carnival ride. And I'm not talking like the merry-go-round. I'm talking the big effing, like the big the catapulty and not catapult the drop swing ride. Every place has it. I think the State Fair has one. A giant zip line that pulls you up, a couple hundred feet in the air, and you drop down. There was this video shot in Paris of a woman whose restraints weren't exactly strapped on pretty well, and she is dangling as she is flying off. It is intensely scary. That second one there.
This annoys the shit out of me in that we're looking for maybe a 15-second clip, and then somehow some jabroni turned this into a 7-minute video. This is what's wrong with YouTube. We need to end now. I feel like carnival rides going from town to town and being assembled by carnies, smell like cabbage, small hands, and there's a lot of oversight. Now we're watching the clip.
Do you? That's a young woman left dangling upside down, hanging by her feet when she slips through a harness.
Oh.
She was on a zip line, which are usually pretty safe deals, but not this
No, they're
one.
not.
She narrowly
Where are you
misses
getting your
the metal
information?
beam. People on the ground trying to grab her and slow her down. She was eventually rescued without serious injury. Happened at a fairground in Paris, France.
And this happens with like when people go on vacation, they go to Cozumel and then they go ziplining. It's like, oh, this is gonna be fun ziplining. So you're telling me that these three dirty dudes in the former fishing boat is like, now what makes you a licensed parasailer? Well, we bought a parasail. Get in, give us $80 and get in. Yeah, there was a great clip. I think it was at Wisconsin Dells. Do you ever ride any of these rides, Nick?
No, not anymore. Because they all, no, they can't strap me in. No. But yeah. I mean, this isn't something new. I mean, in America, a lot of carnival places that have these extreme rides. I mean, things can become loose, and these things happen. As I said, luckily, this one in Paris that we're talking about that happened recently, no one died, no one was injured. But it looks like the adrenaline ride, as it's called, is to be closed and scheduled to be taken down.
The really adrenaline ride. Now,
slingshot rides.
Yeah. This happens at the Catapult, a ride called the Catapult. They got the family strapped in here, and they're sitting. Yeah, this is one of the ones that just launches you right in the air like a slingshot.
Like you started,
wait for it. Yeah, you started sitting, and then the cable just snaps. Yeah, and then the mom and the son in the thing are just like, oh, what's happening? Like one
smiling.
One of the straps literally just like snapped. So if they were able to get airborne in that, it probably would have snapped with them in the air, and then they would have ended up like the Challenger explosion. Yeah, everyone around was like, oh, lucky he didn't go.
The riders look kind of calm for some horrible reason. I mean, with that other side, I think that would just control everything, and they would be spinning.
You know, as a kid, I love roller coasters. I still do. And, Muggsy gets older, that'll be fun because we'll go to Valley Fair, we'll ride all the rides. I always worry about, like, malfunctioning, though. I'm like, oh, this would be a really horrific way to die.
I mean, modern technology, a lot of roller coasters they're making much safer. But, yeah, accidents can happen. I think a couple years ago there was an accident on a roller coaster where people can lose a limb, lose their head. Sometimes, I mean, if you're not following the rules of the ride, a kid trying to stand up in a sit-down, roller coaster, I mean, can kind of get their ends with it. But it's heartbreaking that, that luckily the things that we've seen, no one has died. And, there have been tragedies where people have fallen to their deaths.
The top 10 amusement park accidents compilation 2017. I don't know, man. Or okay. All right, yeah, we got to watch this a little bit. Amusement park accidents caught on camera. So we're looking at like one of those tilt-a-whirl things. I'm surprised they don't have the guy
standing right there. Why is the... No. Wait.
I don't know what happened.
Oh, guy fell out of his...
The guy fell out of the raft.
Okay, to be fair, he deserved that.
That's on him.
Thanks for saving my life, man.
Oh, they got stuck. This is like a power tower thing at Valley Fair, and the people just got stuck.
Looks like in Japan or something. Yeah. This has happened. Oh, wow, look at that one. To keep it local, Mall of America, we've had instances where the I don't know if it's a roller coaster ride or the kind of
my God. In fairness, you're an adult riding a kid's ride, and this looks like it was at a county fair.
Yeah,
this ain't no state fair. This is a county fair, where that thing rides on the back of a flatbed truck and is assembled by a bunch of out of work carnies.
And there's rust. There's probably a lot of rust on everything. Mall of America, though, a couple years ago there was the incident the incident where the people were stuck on the ride, I think upside down. It's like a pirate ship ride, or it might have been a roller coaster. That stuff happens in modern ages too.
What an unavoidable tragedy. Well, is it really unavoidable? Like, we are building these machines to sling us around at speeds that man should not be traveling at.
What about astronauts?
Yeah, assembled by carnies and patched together by remnant pieces of the 500 screw kit from Home Depot. Cool. I was next.
All right, a couple entertainment news stories here. X-Files is returning to the air.
Why? They just keep running out of ideas. It's like Fox bringing back Prison Break. It's like, and we've been over this. Can't you guys think of anything new? Oh, wait, you're bringing back Lethal Weapon? Neat. Or you're adapting it for the TV? Cool.
Did you ever watch X-Files?
No.
It's a sci-fi show. If you guys don't know, I know most of the people listening are sports people. X-Files was a popular show in the 90s that went on for, I think, 8 to 10 seasons. Dave introduced people to Dave Duchovny and Gillian Anderson.
Didn't they already have a comeback once?
Yes, and that's a big part of what this was that they did a brief 6-episode season last year, and because it was such a hit, and I've heard mixed reviews of that season anyways, but because it was such a hit, people were demanding it, and it looks like they're bringing a 10-episode season. So I think it's kind of that evolution where we go from episode, like back in the 90s, 26 episodes a season. It's minimized now. It's down to the, anywhere from 8 to 13 episodes a season, for a lot of TV shows. So it's not like a full like comeback, kind of a more of a
limited release.
Yes, there you go. There you go. So if you're a big fan of the sci-fi season, it's coming back, I believe, as early as this fall.
Now, so it's Mulder and Scully, right?
Yep.
Which one's which?
Mulder is David Duchovny, and then Scully is a woman.
I was hoping for something a little more
you can say her name. It's Gillian Anderson.
Yeah, sorry, Gillian Anderson. Sorry.
Yeah. That was very misogynistic of you. One is David Duchovny, the other is woman.
I forgot her name for a second.
Now, are they FBI agents?
Yes.
And they just go around chasing paranormal?
Yes, yep. That was the main premise of the show. I've seen maybe a third of the shows. I wasn't like a hardcore fan because it kind of the show was unique. It kind of went under a like overall theme of government, like they were trying to track down, government conspiracies.
But they are the government.
But there's like another government, There's like the secret government to control aliens who are like planning to take over, like plotting stuff or whatnot. But they did a lot of episodes. They're called like the Monster of the Week, where they like went to random towns and like they looked for Bigfoot. They looked for the like Loch Ness monster kind of weird storylines.
Oh, that sounds entertaining.
A lot of people liked it. It was a big thing in the 90s.
Yeah, except we're all really dumb in the 90s, I feel.
Whatever, we had great stuff in the 90s.
Like, if the X-Files came out nowadays, I bet you it would be canceled right away. Because there's some amazing TV out there.
There's a lot of amazing TV out there.
Yeah. Speaking of which, something that's not amazing is the next story.
All right, another TV show that's kind of taking the internet by waves here. Netflix, obviously releasing great programming. One of the last big shows was Stranger Things, which is which is kind of a homage to X-Files type of thing. Going to come out in October. But we're talking about their newest TV show called 13 Reasons Why.
Mm-hmm.
And I Wikipedia this whole series. I didn't watch a single episode, so I kind of know.
It's Wikipedia. Let's watch the trailer.
Okay.
Hey. Hannah, I'm not going. Not now. Not ever.
Why didn't you say this to me when I was alive?
Oh.
My husband and I...
As a side, I love it in movie trailers when they do the boom.
Mm-hmm.
Never got a note.
Got cassette tapes.
Hey, it's Hannah. Hannah Baker.
Holy shit.
based on the best-selling mystery.
Settle in, because I'm about to tell you the story of my life. More specifically, why my life ended. And if listening to this tape, you're one of the reasons why.
This is a wild game of survival.
Is Hannah telling the truth?
Don't believe everything you hear.
Whatever Hannah thought she saw, she lied about it on those tapes because she's a crazy drama queen who just killed herself for attention.
Hannah has secrets, Mrs. Baker. Hannah's secrets are what killed her.
Maybe I'll never know why you did what you did, but I can make you understand how it felt.
You don't know the whole story.
What else do I need to know? You're just like the rest of them, but I'm not. Everyone is just so nice until they drive you to kill yourself. And sooner or later, the truth will come out.
Tale as old as time.
This is a wild game of survival.
All right, so this Hannah chick apparently offed herself, and then she sent a cassette tape in 2017 to all these 13 people of 13 reasons why she killed herself.
Yes, that's what I'm kind of getting out of it. But from the Wikipedia page, it sounds like this main kid who you saw shouting at the end, his name is Clay.
Seems dumb.
Lovely name, Clay. Got all of them, and he's listening to everyone's story. It sounds like for 13 episodes, there's 13 tapes explaining why this high school student killed herself, and 13 specific people who were...
I bet you she's not dead. I bet you that's a twist.
Do you want me to spoil it for you?
I've heard from several people that it was good, except it was overrated. Like, he got sick of it towards the end. All right, spoiler. Did she kill herself?
Yes, she did.
Damn it.
I'm sorry.
How'd she do it?
Slitting her wrist in the tub.
That's the weak way to go.
Yeah.
You know what she should have done? She should have gone to the carnival, rode all the rides, let nature and time take its course.
Yeah. So back while we're talking about this show specifically is that this is touching a lot of people. This is getting a lot of buzz because of the type of story is about teen suicide and stuff, and a lot of people are nervous. A lot of people want the show taken down. There's a lot of people are worried that this is sending a message to cause other kids don't want to kill themselves because obviously for the attention and whatnot. And it's kind of I never thought of it like that, the power of media right now. But maybe
if a TV show, a fictional TV show, drives a kid to kill themselves because they think it's cool, I think that kid already has some wiring loose in their brains anyways.
Yeah, I agree. Generally you hope the moral of the lesson is with a show like this, for people suffering through depression or tough times, you talk to someone, you get counseling or whatnot. And, some people think that maybe the show would bring awareness to it. Others are kind of thinking, this is just going to drive, more of a negative attention, actually.
Yeah, well, if people are rallying against, this is glamorizing suicide. Hold on, I have to go watch Travel Channel and Food Network's program about best places to pig out, or Sugar Rush, or, 95 places to get gout. Great. Yeah, let's keep hammering that.
Glamorizing suicide.
Yeah, stop picking and choosing your battles, you hypocrites.
I think those are two words you can't really put together. How do you glamorize suicide?
I don't know. Aaron Hernandez, I'm sure, inspired a bunch of people to off themselves.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah. Obviously, it was an inside job. They just left the bed sheets in there. Duh. That was next.
All right, our final story was another take on the 90s, since we're talking X-Files. There is a remake of This Is Your Brain on Drugs PSA, starring 90s favorite, Minnesota's favorite girl, Rachel Lee Cook.
Kiss me.
This is your brain.
All right, so this is the OG.
And this is heroin.
19-year-old Rachel Lee Cook.
This is what happens to your brain after snorting heroin.
Well, yeah, that's why you inject
and this is what your body goes through. Wait, it's not over yet. This is what your family goes through. And your friends and mine. And your job and your self-respect and your future. questions?
Oh, yeah. I always remember those coup de grace, those Drew Brony commercials, like, any questions? What's going on?
All right, they released a new modern version of Rachel Gluck, This Is Your Way on Drugs. And she's
still looking good.
Yeah, she looks pretty good.
This is one of the millions of Americans who uses drugs and won't get arrested.
That's an egg.
Watch.
However,
the twist.
This American is several times more likely to be charged with a drug crime.
Oh, Jesus. Come on. So she held up the brown egg, and this, of course, turns it.
Imagine it's you.
I am a brown egg.
This is the day you get caught. This is your day in court. This is your sentencing. This is your cell. This is your first day on the outside. This is your fresh start. Was your fresh start. Here are your job prospects. This is your shot at a college degree. Or not. This is your family. This is your debt collector. These are the dreams you have for your children. This is someone else's family. Someone else's life. Someone who used drugs, but was never caught. This is how you feel. The war on drugs is ruining people's lives. It fuels mass incarceration. It targets people of color in greater numbers than their white counterparts. It cripples communities. It costs billions. And it doesn't work. Any questions?
I hate everything now.
You should hate everything.
I thought this was going to be just like the milk toast, like 0 calories, like, hey, drugs are bad. Smashing some things. Any questions? But no, they have to go overly ham-fisted political on the bit. Sure.
Yeah.
And it's annoying. That's all.
Yeah, as you saw in the video, the original video, she specifically talked about heroin, which, heroin is a terrible, awful drug.
Snorting heroin. I mean, who the hell snorts heroin?
Those crazy people.
Like, even now, he's like, don't you inject heroin? I'm like, we know Kurt Cobain.
Any heroin any heroin people, please message us. I would like to know how you take your heroin. But this one was talking more about weed in general, and obviously, I mean, there's big discussions. You can talk on some other show about, like weed and convictions and stuff. But yeah, it was just a little overkill kind of quickly. And
and also, like, I get the war on drugs does target minorities to a degree, but why'd she have to start out with, hey, this is a white egg and he used drugs, he never got caught. There's a brown egg, he used drugs, and never got. You're both using drugs, technically illegal. Sorry, but it's the war on white people, which, as a person on the sidelines, as a person of color, technically, it just seems misplaced.
Yeah, I can agree with you on that one.
Yeah. Rachel Lee Cook, you screwed the pooch. All right, that's news.
The news with Uncle Nick.
From the entire Channel 4 news team, I'm Veronica Corningstone.
And I'm Ron Burgundy. Go yourself, San Diego.
She looks good, though.
This episode was all over the map. Joe Nixon, me turning heel on Rachel Lee Cook, Nick wanted to get with the handicap chick.
What?
And fast food. Yeah. All over the map, just like our man Josh Peltz over at Remax Preferred. All over the map of the Twin Cities and the greater Minnesota area as well. Whether you're buying or selling in this current seller's market, he can get you top dollar or the best price possible if you are buying. And he returns phone calls, which is big. Not all realtors do that. And, we went through 2 realtors before we finally got ours when we bought our first house. And I could tell the communication, it's really frustrating. You're making the biggest purchase of your life. You want someone you can know and trust and talk to. Josh Pelzo of Remax Preferred is that. Hit him up, 763-213-4617, 763-213-4617, or visit the website, joshpelzo.com. Yeah. What you got going on the rest of the week, Nick?
It's my final week to pack up and move last weekend.
Pack up and move. Nick's Son Moving Podcast coming soon. Get this show, iTunes, Stitcher, Radio. And if you enjoy it, here's a really big thing. Tell a friend, spread the word of mouth. Give us a retweet, give us a like, do everything. Add to the Jerome Homie Army. And thanks, producer Ali Sorensen, for making me not sound so stupid today. But for Nick, I'm Andy Carlson saying, and Young, sayonara, and bye-bye. We'll talk to you later.
listening to Bowl with Andy Carlson, Minnesota's 87th best daily podcast. Download the show on iTunes. Everyone's middle name is Jerome.